Hi everyone, it is Nikki with Discarding Betty, and who might Betty be? She's the queen of the show. This is Ms. Betty. She is my sourdough starter. Yes, I named my sourdough starter. Discarding Betty is all about discarding the starter and creating food with the sourdough starter. So, got lots of good things for tonight. I'm super excited about tonight. I am not by any means a French connoisseur. I dabble in French. I know like 3 words. I just am obsessed with Julia Child. And we tonight are going to make French pancakes. That's right. And in France, they call them crepes. In the United States, we call them crepes. So we are going to make some French pancakes tonight, crepes. And yes, I'm going to call them crepes all night because that is what Miss Julia Child calls them. And I love Julia Child. I watch her shows all the time, reruns on YouTube. There's just nothing about this woman I do not love. We're going to use her recipe. This is not my recipe. This is Julia's recipe. But because we are going to be putting sourdough starter in her recipe, we're going to mix it up a little bit. You can make crepes either savory or sweet. Tonight we're gonna make sweet. We're gonna do Nutella, strawberries, whipped cream, drizzle a little chocolate on top to decorate the top of them with some powdered sugar. So, like I said, you can make crepes 2 ways, savory or sweet. You can use Julia's recipe for either one if you want, or what I do to change up her recipe to make the crepes a little more sweet is I add, of course, vanilla and a little bit more sugar so that each crepe is sweet in itself. And so that's how I kind of switch it up. But for the base, it's mainly Julia's recipe. That is what we are going to make this evening. This is a super easy recipe. So this is definitely something you can make with your kids. It's a lot of fun and you can make whatever you want in these crepes. One of the things I want to try that I haven't yet is Julia made a lobster filling with some cream cheese and some other things, sauteed it on the oven and then put it inside the crepes. And oh, they looked amazing. I can only imagine the smell of that sauteed lobster with all this butter, and then she lit it all on fire. I mean, it's phenomenal. So you can do whatever you want. There's so many recipes out there to do with your family as well. I love using them for more dessert than anything, which is what we're going to be doing tonight. What also makes this so easy is basically you put everything in a blender, blend it for a minute, and then you let it sit in the refrigerator. How easy is that? You can even make it the night before, put it in the refrigerator so that you're ready for dinner when you come home from work and have it ready for dessert or after dinner. We're gonna put all the liquids in first. So I'm gonna put Miss Betty here to the side. And the first thing is a cup of cold water, easy. A cup of whole milk. Now this, Julia does not call for this. This is what I'm adding in to make them more sweet. About 1 teaspoon, and I probably have 1 teaspoon in here. Very end of my Mexican vanilla I got in Mexico. I'm heartbroken. We've got 4 tablespoons of melted butter. And this is probably gonna make like 24 crepes, which is way more than I need. I'm going to be distributing these. We're gonna put our eggs in, which is kind of considered a liquid as well. And I've got my little trash bowl here, and it's the whole egg. I should be cracking these in a different bowl and then putting them in the blender so that if any shell falls, I'm not trying to dig it out of a blender, but I am going to test fate tonight. Oh, one more. There we go. Okay, Set that aside. I'm gonna rinse my paws. Okay, so we have all of our liquids in there, and now we are going to put in, oh, got Betty. Can't forget Betty, she's a liquid. So you can, I don't know if you can see on the camera, I know you can probably see those bubbles there. So I brought her out of the refrigerator 2 days ago. So she's had 2 feedings. I fed her this morning. She's about up here, so she's about doubled in size, which is great. She's very active. She looks like she's probably still a little active, and she's been in her micro house, so she's been nice, safe, and secure in there. And I'm just gonna show you here how the thickness is. This is a little 1 cup jelly jar. So I always know when I use these, it's a cup. And also when you take your sourdough starter, if she's been in the refrigerator or he has been in the refrigerator for some time, you are gonna have more of a strong sour, if not vinegary smell, probably more stronger than normal, and that's normal. That just means she needs to be fed, she's ready to be fed, and she's hungry. That more vinegary smell will slowly go away as she's fed. Some people have thick starter, some people have more thin. I tend to go with the more thick starter. Okay, there. Oh, she's hanging on. Okay, I'm gonna set Betty aside. And this is a little more than 3/4 of a cup, so I'm just not gonna put all of it in. Oh, this is gonna be so good because it's nice and thick. I'm so excited. With what's left in there, that's probably 3/4 right there. Now we put 3/4 cup of our sourdough starter, which again, this is not Julia's recipe. It calls for 1.5 cups if you're not using sourdough starter, but because we already have that really good natural yeast, we still have to add flour. We're just not gonna add as much flour, so I cut it from 1.5 cups to just a cup. I could probably even go a little lower. We'll see what that batter looks like. If it needs to be more liquidy, we'll just add some more water to it. Not a problem. Another thing that Julia doesn't do that I do because I want them more sweet is sugar. And this is about 1/4 cup of sugar. Just gonna sprinkle that in. And folks, that's it. That's how easy is that? So easy. And then we're going to put the lid on here. You don't want to over mix. I'm gonna put it at a 2. It's a 1, 2, 3. This is a Ninja. This is a great blender, by the way. I'm gonna put it on 2 to blend, and I'm gonna blend for about 1 minute. Been about 1 minute now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take this off. We are going to scrape down the sides. You can see where there is some flour here on the sides, and you don't want that when you're pouring it out to not be blended. But once we scrape the sides down, we're literally going to blend it seconds because we've kind of already done our minute blender. And this is Julia's recommendation. So if this is Julia Child's recommendation, then this is what we're doing. And she says, scrape down the sides, get all that flour off the sides, and blend for 1 to 3 seconds. That's not a lot of blending, folks. I feel like it has good consistency. We're gonna check it here in a second, and we're gonna put it back on here, and here we go. All right, 3 seconds, that's it. Literally, that's it. That's the recipe. I mean, really, that's so simple. And it's usually everything you already have in your kitchen except for the sourdough. But that's okay, because you'll be able to start your own starter with my Discarding Betty starter guide. And I will have that linked in the description for you. So please take a look at that, download it, so you can start your starter. It has all these questions that you're gonna ask about starting starter and putting it in the refrigerator and resting and fermenting. So everything's answered for you. It's down in the description. I will also put it in the comment section and pin the comment to the top so that sometimes people have trouble seeing the description or figuring it out. It'll also be in that first comment. Okay, let's open this up. I think it's good. I'm gonna take this out over at the sink. Yeah, it's nice and watery. You can kind of see it jiggling in there. One thing that Julia says is take a wooden spoon, put it in there, and it should coat the back of your spoon and roll off. And it does. So we got you, Julia. We got you. All right, so this is gonna be really runny, and we're just gonna pour it in a bowl. I'm gonna set this aside. Okay, so we have our batter here, and oh, I forgot a shower cap I know you're probably thinking shower cap. Yes, these are great for when you make sourdough bread, but they're also great for covering a bowl without using the cling wrap, and you can use them over and over again as long as they don't get dirty or messy. So now we're gonna put this in the refrigerator for 2 hours. Julia says it's so that the flour particles can be moistened and break down. And what Julia says goes. I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator. I'm gonna clean up my kitchen, and when we come back, we're gonna be making some crepes. I can't believe it. I forgot the salt for the crepes. So if you don't have a blender, you can use a whisk. And so I'm just gonna whisk this instead of pouring it all back in and all the things, since I already have my blender sitting with warm soapy water. This is gonna be just half a teaspoon, and I'm using pink Himalayan salt. Just sprinkle that in there. Just gonna add that right at the end. And then I am going to whisk that in, and that's it. Don't forget your salt. Can I ask a favor of you guys? Would you please subscribe and give me a thumbs up, a like, if you enjoy my channel and enjoy watching the things that I make with my sourdough discard. Okay, we are back. I have our crepe batter, or crepes batter here, and I pulled it out of the refrigerator. It's been in there for about an hour and a half. I know. I'm breaking Julia Child's heart right now. She says at least 2 hours. It's getting late and I have to be at work in the morning, and I go to bed early. So I want to get these done. I want to eat them. They do get dry. You need to probably eat them sooner rather than later. Well, I am going to move my camera down because you don't need to see me. You need to see the crepes. So I have my pan here heated. It's important to use a non-stick pan. So this really isn't ideal for crepes because it's heavy. It's a really nice pan. I got it as a gift. I'm very thankful for it. It's a Le Creuset. Sticking with the whole French theme. It is heavy. Usually you put your batter in, you immediately hold it and start turning. I can't do that hardly with one hand because this is so heavy. I have a pot holder for this side, and I'm gonna be doing a lot of this. You'll see once I get the batter in here. You're doing that because you want that batter to be as thin as possible. There are crepe kits that you can get as well, and they're fun. They have a very small lip, and then they're very light as well. And then it also has a roller utensil to roll out flat and thin. And then it also has a wooden paddle that comes with it so that you can use that for turning. So I'm gonna use this. I also melted some butter. So this is 4 tablespoons of butter, and we want that sizzle, so that's perfect. And we are just going to put this in here. And you're gonna do this between each crepe, right in the middle. And then I am going to start the turning process. And you can see here that, gosh, this pan is a lot bigger than what I thought it was. You can see there's some of those holes right there. Kind of move it around. I'm waiting for those edges to get brown, and I am gonna do just a touch in those spots just so I have a solid. I can see where it's getting a little brown right there. I don't want it to get too brown, and I also don't want it to stick, which it shouldn't. You can definitely see how delicate they are. Oh, that's pretty. Up where it's folded. Hate that I tore it. So this one's better than the last one. I tore it with my spatula. It looked like it was gonna do really well. And maybe my pan does need to be a little bit hotter. It just seems like I'm getting a really good bottom cook, but my sides are not turning as brown, and the center is. So I think that's my stove and my pan. And let's see here. It should just need a few seconds on the other side. And again, you can see how pretty that side is. And you can just lay them right there on top. They're not supposed to stick. I've not really had that issue. I'm gonna put one right in the middle, and then maybe a little bit more. And then I'm gonna start turning. There we go. That's more like it. Look how nice that is. It does take a couple. Julia did it perfect on the second try. I didn't. That's all right. You're gonna wanna kind of keep this moving a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna go here around the edges. And you can see that bubbling there. I'm just going to pull this without, hopefully, there we go. There we go. Look at that. See how this looks? Oh, pretty. Oh, it's perfect. And we're gonna make a couple of these so we can move on. Okay, so you can see I have my crepes and strawberries, Nutella. You can also use peanut butter, which would be really good too. I have my powdered sugar, Hershey syrup, and whipped cream. Use Ready Whip. So we're gonna lay that down, and I'm going to take some Nutella. Love Nutella. If you haven't tried Nutella, try it, but it's a hazelnut spread. So I am going to spread some Nutella here on this, and I'm just gonna kind of gently spread it here. Doesn't have to be perfect, because you can either roll it or fold it. So I am going to fold this one, and when you fold it, each bite's gonna have a little bit of Nutella. Just a nice thin layer of Nutella. And then I'm gonna take some strawberries, and I am just going to kind of randomly put them here. Perfect. They serve them a couple of ways. One way is to fold it in half like that, and then you fold it you just kind of bring that up to a kind of a triangle there, and then you roll it like that. And all that Nutella is right there the bottom, which you can see here. They're kind of hard to tear once they've been cooked. I mean, you can tear them, but you can kind of move that Nutella up a little bit too. Some powdered sugar, and then if you want to add some whipped cream, wonderful Nutella crepe. You can put peanut butter in these. You can put whipped cream in them with strawberries, and then drizzle chocolate on the outside. There's so many things you can do. Peanut butter, you can put jams in there if you want. I have an apricot jam that would probably be great in there. I also have a raspberry jam from Farmer's Market that would probably be good in there. So basically, the sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want, but it's so fun to make. And I really think that once you kind of get the hang of it, which you could see I was trying to get the hang of it, and enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Do it with your kids. I think kids would love this. It's so fun. You could have a crepes bar and put whatever you wanted, M&Ms, anything you wanted in there. Make s'mores, do some marshmallow cream with chocolate and crumbled graham crackers. You could really do anything you want with these. Okay, so I did roll one. This has some whipped cream and strawberries in it. So you can see what it looks like rolled. It looks a little bit like a burrito. I'm gonna set it off to the side here. And then I think it's time we do a taste test of these pretty babies. This is my dinner. Nutella, strawberry, crepes. That sounded like grapes. Strawberry, Nutella, crepes. Oh. It's a little chewy, not too much. That sourdough helps with that. Wow, that's really good. It's Julia Child's recipe, The Art of French Cooking. You can't go wrong. So just a reminder, if you want to make delicious discard dishes and have sourdough starter, but you don't know where to start, go to my description, and in the description I'm gonna have in there my Discarding Betty, just a starter guide, and it's gonna tell you how to start your own sourdough starter. Feedings, discarding, putting it in the refrigerator, fermenting, smells, everything that you need to know about it. Get yours started so that even if you never make any bread, which I rarely do, you can make all these delicious discard recipes that my channel is all about. Go to the description, click on that link, download your starter guide, start your own Betty, or name yours whatever you would like. We can start cooking together with your discard. How fun would that be? Oh, it'd be fun to have a class where we just kind of like live cook things together, like we pre-get the ingredients and then we all do it together. That'd be fun. I wonder if I can do that. I'm sure I can. I don't know. Okay, anyway, so from my home to your home and all of our delicious discard dishes, have a lovely, lovely evening. To make sure that I'm gonna start over. I don't know what I was gonna say. Whisk, whisk. Good word, whisk. So one thing Julia says is once you have it down, you can have 2 pans going at the same time. That's a hard no. And I can never remember my tagline. If you want to see the video of my niece and I making sourdough snickerdoodle cookies, click on this video right here.